Today na the 24th day of March 2021. The state of emergency, the curfew order, will be in a salon, don't be lifted. Everybody gets their own way of interpreting this curfew order. We know they again a salon. But what in NaCOVERC tell we will come look and see what we need for do and what we need for put in place so that the surge we will be see during the Christmas lift up of all the regulations them we not go repeat for student numbers then they again na salon. But before that, this now what NaCOVERC tell we today. The labs then be analyzed 581 test them, and out of that 581 test day, 4 now be turned out for be positive. And then 4 then come up from the western area urban. Because of them 4 new case system where we get, the confirmed total number now for COVID-19 as alone reached 3,953. For the past 24 hours, we not lost nobody to COVID-19 as alone, so still stand at 79. The one them with in isolation now 1,078. For the past 24 hours, 4 people them now them be recovered from COVID-19 na salon. And because of them 4 people and we now get 2,796 people them will recover from COVID-19 na salon. The one them with in quarantine na 34. The one them with on discharge from quarantine na 14,639. Let me check the Mano River Union countries them. For today, as I tell we just now, Sierra Leone na 4. Guinea 139. Liberia no show face 0. Ivory Coast 267. Ivory Coast they're not a plane at this category. If they left Guinea safe now 1 or 2 days, but they're always there on top. So for today, we get 410 new cases of COVID-19 in the Mano River Union countries. Sierra Leone, cumulative death, as I've been telling you just now, 79. Guinea, 113. Yesterday, Guinea na be 111. So within the past 24 hours, Guinea lost 2 persons to COVID-19. Liberia 85 and Ivory Coast 222. Yesterday, Ivory Coast now be 220. So Ivory Coast back lost 2 people. So within Ivory Coast and Guinea, they don't lost 4 people. Within the last 24 hours, 4 people and they don't lost to COVID-19. The 499 people with the Mano River Union countries that not lost to COVID-19 and soul go rest in peace. Today, NaCOVERC make me say curfew order don't be lifted. And if you can remember fine, you remember the first index case where we began as alone, which day that one day? That can be the 31st of March 2020. Outside and they be come out. From there one day they be don't begin for quarantine. Now outside, na the Leone hotel. We know how this drama been start. Then, President Bingo and announced a state of emergency. At that time, we beget the Attorney General, Priscilla Schwartz, na him be Dede, in Parliament and beget small draw. But the state of emergency. Some man they say, na public health state of emergency. Some man say, no, na just state of emergency. It cover everything. We give the president right for do this and da. So Parliament began for say, well, they need them for outline waiting exactly there inside this state of emergency. Small drug be the inside, but the state of emergency be team up. So 1 year on, so man they say the state of emergency don't elapse. So if anything need to happen again, then you have to go parliament or the president can do another pronunciation. But for one reason, make we listen how NaCOVERC be make we know. And if anything they do when NaCOVERC talk about state of emergency. This now waiting NaCOVERC tell we. He say, na public notice this, when for Wednesday the 24th of March 2021. He say curfew lifted, but public health directives in force. The curfew don't be lifted, but public health directives in force. All right. He say if we can look back 1 year ago, Parliament be approved a state of public health emergency as one of many measures them were proposed by the government of Sierra Leone for protect against and prevent the spread of COVID-19 na Salone. He say the proactive structures and the measures them where the government be put in place, it help Sierra Leone for effectively manage COVID-19 pandemic and it be limit 1, fatality, 2, infection, and 3, recurrence. That will go happen again and again. The rates will go happen like that at the lowest level on the continent. So they try for saying now waiting the government to do, the kind way and manner where Curfew na be part of them, where then lock church them and mosque them na be part of them, where social distancing na be part of them, with all the measures them where the government put. He say na part of that one day na make COVID-19 no knock with people and down na the country. He say throughout, the government be they look for ways for protect the lives and the livelihoods. While also, even when they protect the lives and the livelihoods, but then they maintain them bold commitment for ensure the personal freedom guaranteed by the Constitution of Sierra Leone. He say, now in this area, now in this light, and then kind of encouraging development here in the fight against COVID-19, the government no think say it necessary for extend the state of public health emergency. With all them good thing there where it don't talk, he say he no think say again the government don't sit down, they don't look. They not think say it necessary again for extend the state of public health emergency. Accordingly, because they're not going to extend again the public health emergency, the curfew is lifted in its entirety. We mean say from that 12 midnight to that 5 a.m. they don't pull up. Remember say before they make and show the 12, it be there from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. So then push them to 12 midnight to 5 a.m. So then say now, curfew da no dey again at all na Salone again. However, all other COVID-19 protocols and public health regulations and directives remain tranga one in place, and the general public is strongly urged for make them yeri word better one to all such protocols as announced by NaCOVERC. Alright. There should be another press release explaining waiting get for day in place. This one, does not cut it out. No, you know, explain and done. Waiting make I say so. Ladi that term, 9 don't cancel, Easter don't cancel alone. And we know waiting be the regulations for the bar and the restaurant and the nightclub them. So if they lift up curfew, the bars, the restaurants, the nightclubs, then go on they take morning. So waiting at the regulations them, where they get for put for them particular places they are. Because as far as they want and they concerned, curfew are not there again. So if curfew are not there, what do you expect? Not to ladida, not say go. But when them be say the bars them and the restaurants them for carry on without the nightclubs, they say you forget hand washing, now you do much. When they inside, then for maintain social distancing. Then for wear mask unless if then they eat. Okay, now the dance floor is going to be open. So waiting at the thing, or they're not open. Then just lift coffee order and then when they still close. That would be difficult to see. So before they can begin say then they go old people them for waiting, I think there should be further explanation for this particular category when are they working on it. The bars and the nightclubs. How they get for the do and then get for the go na the dance floor with face mask? Or they still remain closed? Since then tell we say the last paragraph, however, all other COVID-19 protocols and public health regulations and directives remain firmly in place. Now, curfew no more the lift. Nightclub still remain banned. I need for give you that. There is a disgusting video going around about a driver. I don't know if you don't see her. A driver we claim say misunderstanding been coming inside in Poda. We then say one comrade is suckling picking. The sojaman can say the comrade no wear face mask. Then the driver tell and say, according to the driver in the video, it's disgusting, so we can't. I don't know. I think it should even have a disclaimer. So the driver say, tell the sojaman say the woman away butu, na in the face mask common and face for them. But the soldier was not having it. Then pack the man in Poda. Then beat the man tie like how then give me the tie rebel. And tie and then beat and say a toilet by himself. So because he talked to soldier. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's disgusting, and I don't think say whatever he say, if na as to how he explain. So if they get for give fine, they say for give fine. They not say for beat person say toilet by himself. Salon. Anyway, let's come to Smantoli. Make we waiting in get for it today. Yes, Usmantoli, you get the platform, sir.
So I will start by thanking you for putting up this program. And also, I would like to thank NaCOVERC for the press release concerning the lifting of the curfew. Then say the public health directives can still be in force. So not just the curfew, 9 and non lift. Well, let's just lay the premise now, and then I will speak to the issues then. We can all remember about 1 year ago, the president declared a public health state of emergency due to COVID-19. And a good number of the public they oppose the state of emergency, the public health state of emergency, due to a number of reasons. One, then talk say the 1 year public state of emergency is too long, because then they, across the globe, they see other countries then they declare public state of emergency for months, not years. So a good number of the public believe say that 1 year state of emergency was too long. And then also, we remember say a good number of the public believe say that 12 months they make the lives of the people then miserable, especially the ordinary people then, in terms of the movement, the fundamental human rights, the movement, and many other things then. So that most other people then believe say the 1 year state of emergency was too much. And the other point also, where I think you mentioned, AAA, about the 1 year state of emergency, where they've been declared on a parliament, then believe say it should have been guided with principles, measures them, for tell you exactly how the state of emergency they go about. So some of the parliamentarians then express concern for the lack of measures as to how to go about the public state of emergency. Well, the president, he argued, he talks say the COVID-19 outbreak require some effective measures then in order for able to control the disease way on savage the country, the globe. So he needs some strict measures for combat the disease. Don't forget, the way the president declare that 1 year state of emergency, will not get no single case in the country. So now make the public sentiment, the public being expressed skepticism over the measure where the president been taking first of all, before I delve into the issues then, we the Sierra Leoneans them were very grateful on the fact that the virus not cause too much impact on the, although it gets impact on the socio-economic activities then, but in terms of fatality rates, I think say we are one of the lowest in the region. AAA, as you say, Sierra Leone, with death rate, it stand at 79, and we all know say it don't stand on 79 for several weeks now. And when you compare them to other countries in the sub-region, such as Guinea, although in terms of ratio, population ratio, you will say it almost at par with some of them countries here. Guinea, I think, is you say about 113, Liberia 85, and countries like Ivory Coast, I think they get 222. These are the Mano River unions. So, as a matter of fact, I think say it's not too bad comparatively. We just pray for the one that we lost their life. Let God give them good road. But it's not as bad as we've been think. If you think about some of the predictions then we an organization like UNESCO been predict. We are aware also that the government made some positive steps for combat the disease, but having said that, they face some other serious challenges then, where we believe say then for any sensible government will look into those loopholes, those mistakes them, and try to correct them in the long run. We also therefore appreciate the fact say we get a lot of support from the international partners, such as the IMF, World Bank, the EU, for their support towards combating the disease in our country. And one of the things that we will talk good about the government in terms of the proactive measures, where the team start well, although at some later part of the disease, we see some lapses then where when they come on this program, or they bombard the government for let them act fast. We're grateful to the government for the health preparedness and response plan, where it's all about saving lives, where the COVID-19 kick in. We see the government introduce the health preparedness and response plan for save lives. And don't forget, the public health state of emergency is about balancing the equation between life and the livelihood. So they also introduced the Quick Action Economic Recovery Program, where it is about saving lives. So those are some of the positives. But as I say, there are some areas of improvement, serious concerns. As we all see, the COVID-19, just like Ebola crisis, expose a number of concerns, especially in the health sector. The poor systems, processes, and procedures, we all know day in, day out, we come on this media, we talk about failure and the poor systems and the processes, then the procedures, then. So many lapses, so many lapses. We don't bombard this government over those issues. And also, in terms of poor facilities, we clinics them, we hospitals them, we health centers them. All the facilities are very poor. So for any sensible government, I think say they will try for go back into some of these things and try for work on them as areas of improvement. Also, the lack of enforcement by the authorities. There are things then where they bring in as measures, but they lack whether the capacity or the ability for enforce the rules. So that other area there, we could also blame the government on those issues. But for we the people, we lack what we call compliance. We not always comply to the rules in terms of washing hands, face mask, public gathering. Most of the time it happens. And today, we appreciate the fact that the government don't lift the curfew and the state of emergency where it don't lapse, because I think that'll be 1 year, so it don't end today. I think I need them to put this press release. What it bring about this success, I think, say, now the development and the rolling out of the vaccine across the globe, Sierra Leone being no exception to this. We don't see the AstraZeneca together with the Sinopharm, where come out from China, then don't roll them out, especially to the priority people, where one of the most important people away for taken. They don't begin roll them out. We see state out self will become as a way for instill confidence on the people. However, this press release, as you say, AAA, is just formality, I would say. Very strongly believe solemnity, because I remember in December, I believe Freetown, where a good number of this, in fact, I say almost all of them, all of the measures, them, when they talk about, is still even there in place. But you see, you send your camera down some of the beaches then and go watch, then go do their own studies and find out, say, them places and they overcrowded. Entertainment centers, you name them, all overcrowded, despite of all the measures that were still there in place. I believe to a very large extent, AAA, that these measures are just a way of formality, especially with the confidence where the vaccination will bring calm in our country I believe say people then go want to treat this disease now with recklessness. And in fact, with all the presence of the disease in our country, people and still they continue for deny. As I say in one of my submission, AAA, I think about 90% of the people in the country, for my own observation, where I below feature, not believe the existence of the COVID-19. I asked so many people that. Thus, people then they behave recklessly. For most people then they wear masks because I mean they force them for it. This is why I say lack of public compliance. Now, one of the major things then we identify in this COVID-19, and the lack of enforcement by authorities is another. So, AAA, for those who wish to visit Freetown this Easter, and those who have already been there will testify, say, the measures that we then put in place is just, I would say, for most of them, a camouflage, not just an official thing. But when you reach there, where anybody go there, you will not say the measures then, they're not very effective. So not waste the time for even talk about restaurants, then bars, weddings, then places and they go still open anyway, especially with the lifting of the curfew. Where it gets small, at least it will play a small role for help observe some of the measures then. But I will stop here. Now I give a chance to other panelists then. Thank you very much, AAA, and thanks to everybody with the listening. I will stop here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Toli.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. May we come with doctor. Make we hear waiting doctor in get for you today. Welcome on board, Dr. Isatuka Kejalo. You get the platform.
Yes, hi, and good evening, everyone. And I hope everybody did do well. Thank you, and thanks to Usman Toli for my own contribution today regarding the lifting of the curfew. I believe say the curfew would then be institute it was January 25th. That was the day where I actually left Salon for camp. In terms of reinforcing the measures then we can to COVID-19, we all don't see whether on our social media or during the time we'll be in our salon. You know, you being the one we come in for visit, they do more of a reinforcement or adherence to the COVID-19 measures than the people that we're on ground, because the statement is always now I get COVID or now I get corona, we not get an aso. That disbelief, we've seen too many people. My first 2 weeks, I would say almost, I was like going like, wow, I couldn't believe that that's how people go around. So it came to a point I give up for ask people for wear mask around me, and I make sure say me I they wear mask even in my living room. So those that visited me would actually attest to that. I'm sure Usman Toli will tell you the same thing because we come, now stay. So I don't care who you are. Even some days when I visit my mom, she was like, yeah, in Pamaringo, Alela Dr. Yani, Coline, like this medical thing, not too much, right? They won't take the mask off. So basically, my mama not even see me face like it used to, or anytime I did visit like that. I did not do that. I didn't take it off. Even my mom. That's not because me believe say COVID-19 day. Some people that not believe say COVID-19 is real. And that's not the problem we'll get now with country. That disbelief in terms of wait and say something they it happen until where the person really affect them or then begin see massive effect on the communities. Now the time people then they take us serious. So that's not the one thing we all know about, but we want for say it's a good thing for let them lift the curfew. Because as it is even now overseas right now, so many things then they palm. lift them, progress, slowly. They can't see now. Some schools they already don't go into full, in-person schooling, right? So we say the district where me they, the beginning, hopefully then will go back to school in April. Where we say like New York City, so many schools and don't go back full time. So I believe say the COVID-19 in March 2020 to April and to May, and now it's quite different. The fact that we get vaccine now the world right now for vaccinate people them for make we take further precautions them for really combat COVID-19, now a good thing. We serve Sierra Leone who don't get the vaccine. Yes, not to everybody eligible right now for get the vaccine, but with the hope say, it will come soon. The one that always eligible with the hope say then take the vaccine so that they go make room or make way for the other people them we go be willing, like we know get no health conditions or we know they are at higher risk, for contract COVID-19 virus. So we really they ask people them for let them adhere to the measures them. And even if you get the vaccine, you still need for continue for wear your mask because we all know say, that droplet from the other person, we not go come in contact with you, will really increase the chance for law continue for prevent COVID-19. But if we know wear we mask, you come in contact with that, saliva or the droplets from the other person to you, then you don't actually, create more room or more ways for that the COVID-19 virus continue for increase, among people them, na the community. As one person can get exposed, it can go on and infect multiple people them. And then that now one thing, if we constantly continue for provide public health education, I think say it will help. Yes, NaCOVERC then they do their daily briefing, now good thing. With the hope say, then they send out people them, now the communities them, for letting they constantly educate, different people them on the need now. Say, okay, curfew don't go, una not get no curfew, but una still need for was una still need for wear una mask, una still need for ensure say una not get a crowd because you can still get your activities done without really causing so many people gathered. Like if you say you get event or this now like mosque, on a church service, like how them we don't put a normal say if you need for split the service into two, you do that so that you not go get out so many people them. But AAA, I go na a mosque usa meals day when I Rokel, to tell you the truth, it was just too crowded. There was no space. Okay, I have mask on, and like I didn't know what else to say, but I had already made the trip to the mosque, so I had to, continue the prayer. And then like my sister, before we even walked into the mosque, she said, down our social distance, not go there now, I'll just tell you. But I was just late to go to Porti because that's where I go to the mosque. But when I prayed at Porti, it was a little bit better. But I'm just saying this is a mosque that I'm not used to, but it was just too clustered for make you even feel say people and they adhere. They don't. They don't because they feel like nobody is there to watch them. They feel like, we are the only one that believe in that, but they don't believe in that. They don't think that COVID is going to catch anybody. So, and I think say people then can go about their business. Restaurant themselves can open as long as they ensure say, okay, if you get like a restaurant where you get multiple seatings, instead of like you put people them closer, like if like one family member they, just try like once then they are there, you skip a seat, then you use the other one. If you do that, you really they reinforce the law and people then go understand say yes, this is real. Like this not everybody infects. Well, then they just say corona affect now we all fit. Meaning the restaurant owners them too, therefore put them measures them in place where people then they come in. If they feel say the restaurants packed, then they say, well, right now we're not getting enough seating. Una get for wait or una get for come back, we run on a timing for ensure say, una coming. All that thing there, everybody can do your own part. As governments put measures in place, we need for reinforce them. We the citizens and need for adhere. And we come to bars and clubs. I think that's a little bit risky. We get to think about it, because those are places that when people are there, they have no choice but to mingle. They have no choice but to probably jam each other, like when they say jam body, right? Something like that. So it is hard. And we really hope say people then will continue for adhere. We'll not go tired for talk, because you know what? Sometimes you go talk something, not everybody go really accept what you just say. Not everybody go feel say, just like we've been talking yesterday, like some things I said didn't go well with some people, but it doesn't matter. For me, I had to continue for advocate for Sierra Leone. I want for Sila Salom go before. So whether you agree with me or not, I will continue to voice what I think is right for that nation. That brings me to something where you bring up at your before you bring me in, where you say a soldier man beats the driver until the person actually had something that was not called for. Me, I want for ask, which law within a saloon where give the right to the the military officer for beat the regular Sierra Leonean? Like where we say we're not in uniform. Which law will get in a salon where really say that's permissible? Is there any law? Because at first I want to know that.
Not at all. Not at all. There is no law. Well, they're always like the soldiers, the police. They do them for beat civilian, and it is not right. Then we law about that.
I think the soldiers are really out of place. I have to be honest with you, because this way you say it happens. So similar thing happened while they drive now that Regent Road for go outside that presidential lodge, right around there, not too far. The policeman park in no, not the police, now be soldier man, then they pan them van, them motoka, we get that open space, where on then they up. Then park them motoka, then beat this Okada man, even though the Okada man gets in a passenger, the man in helmet for them, they almost want claim on the helmet. I had to park my car. I said, can you just let him pick up his helmet? I had to say that. The only thing I didn't do that day, I wish I was there at the beginning to see. I would video that, and let's take it to the next step, because unfortunately I met not after where they don't go. Now I say to the man, I say, what do you do them? I said, I'm not doing nothing. He said, no, mom, me drive on this other side, or ride the Okada on this other side. So they constantly do these things to people for no reason. Just because you wear a uniform, not give you the right for you treat your fellow Sierra Leone and say like saying a garbage. So if those are not laws, I think we need to have, our people them like Chadi, like the public health, the public advocacy group then at the country, for let them really try for see how them go, talk to the government and to the parliaments, for let them put laws in place. Let them not do that. If somebody do something, you feel say it wrong, by law it wrong, get tickets, let go na court, let go defend himself. But not for the beat and like saying that you picking or are you born, even if person you picking, not for the beat. Because to tell you the truth, even that picking day, it gets in your respect for gam. Unfortunately, Salon, then even with the sea, we put them thief, then they beat them, take something, and then they kill them, right? So all them kind of thing, and they then get for put stop to ram and put things them in place. Say if somebody owe you, take on a court, let the court decide. Say he owe you. Other than the beats now this country, we get credit card debt. Or we get debt them where be say they not pay. They only some people they even go file for bankruptcy because they're not going to pay for the loan where they get. But unfortunately, Salon what you can end up for see the people they end up na Pademba Road, and then we talk about prison overcrowding now the country. All then here then they happen now we country, and then Sierra Leonean, some of we not the same. Some of we want for just they say would they against the current administration or not. For me, I'm not against no party. Any party will do well for Salon, I'm with you. So I can see now, sometimes when something good come about this administration, I support them. Then you hear people say, oh, someday they defend them. Yes, because if you are doing good, I defend you. If you are doing bad, I will tell you. So that's the type of Sierra Leonean I am. So I wish we could get many Sierra Leoneans and like that. Say, even if you know me paddy, or even you now mama, now you born me, you do something wrong, I need for tell you. You do something good, I need for tell you. If we all get that same heart day, if we all get that same patriotism in we, then we country go before. Me, now that I get for say tonight, but I will continue for advocate for Salone until I see say that country day, it can't to waiting in it for the end. Salone for better. I believe in that and I know it will. It's just going to take us some time. It's going to take a lot of, talking, a lot of sensitization, because some people, they just talk. That's all I think. Thank you very much. And I'd say hashtag Salone for better.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you.
Make we come with Usfriend. Make we waiting a get for we. Yes, Usfriend, you get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A. And thanks to all the previous speakers. Thanks to Doctor, thanks to Usman Toli, and thanks to you again for organizing all this, put them together, and then thanks to listeners and viewers. I could just want to start inside Dr. Left first before I go further. This issue of the police or government, they get for try really look into that one day. Because when they use force in the context of law enforcement, I think say now the amount of effort we require by the police for compel, okay, for let people and comply. But in terms of unwillingness, then are the main subject. Then they look at unwillingness and then they try for correct unwillingness of the people for use force according to their own doctrine and their own idea, but not to so the law say. And when you look at what in the law says, different from what then they try for put into. Because when you look at the law, what in they try for put, they try for tell the man and comply to the rules and what you do, and then you follow the right procedure. You go to high standards, you follow all the supervision that we get for do for you feel, in other words, the moral, the ethics, what you get for do for let you pursue that, and because the man will listen to you when you talk to them. But if the language of that communication all the day between civilians them all the time and the law enforcement bodies them, soldier man, they now police, it's in fact police, soldier man, they never even they use them in those areas and get for day and like a last resort. We governments will call for anything on enforcement law. But when you bring the soldier man safe in the street, then they create more tension, and at the same time you get the SSDM, SSUL, we don't bring calm and so on. But the idea is all of them, because of some of them, the way they recruit, not all of them, they do all these things along. Even among the forward, it's never that posted. So the one go just cut back to no more now for lady, but there is always one who now always the troublemaker who they say na so would they do or na so major feel for do. Because instead he come up from an area where they not screen and well, most likely then for no in character where he gets I be able for show in character for delegating duty, and then when he go to that public then allow you they go show with the uniform, you go try for visit the uniform where you wear. That culture they be don't see now for big people because of the way the police then come inside at the country, then come a time when they always say we try for maintain law. But the law then they maintain, they say, oh, we will maintain the law by using force so that the people then will listen and abide. But that is not the culture then for all they take. If we try to understand how they will be able to engage the civilians, how they will engage people so that other things then go there tomorrow important. So that una then then you will go lesson. But because they don't want to let them work lesson, now for them, some of them then they forget say this is how we get for approach. So that the things that the people then will learn for say, I then tell them this, then will listen to them. But if they know say there is always a time where we do this, this would they expect. So you see the tension the day between civilians and police. And these are the things that they always create, create riot, immediately, but it creates that atmosphere wherein you go see some other after spark, then they turn to the police them, say, well, go riot. You see in other places them, like look Bristol. Listen to the way people and just because of the law they say, now so they get for change, government they change this for let this be. in terms of social gathering and noise. Then they try for categorize, say, where you dey demonstrate. If a demonstration they cause noise for the other person, then categorize saying a crime. So they don't really then grab go for go store, but not to that one now because of the resentment that we don't they get from previous way police and they make. Despite what they European, let's say they get then you mistakes they only do. But now they want and they people then get for looks so they avoid future confrontation. We go spark some other thing because from there they're not gonna say it will happen. Past other thing happen now. Then you go see now run and go to the police station. Now then time then go take what they are doing, what they say settling scores. That's settling scores. And then they will try for avoid that tension. They were people and go know their rights. And that government get for try. This area where they talk about say TMC or other things. These are the after thing that when they put them they cry, say they know they get justice, then they suppress them when they want to do this. So civilian then will get a time where say, oh well, let us flow we turn and then we back by because of certain cause. Then coming to the area of the uplifting of the curfew now, I believe saying just any area we government now with this pandemic, they try actually for help the people in some way. So you will find out that the government will try to say, well, we don't say the hospitality or the music industry or the hospitality section, they boom better and waiting would they give them, will not able to give their own sector too much. So then we'll look, say, well, let us find a way we'll be able to please them. And we'll look at what in the data they tell we, and based on this season and other factors, then let we uplift them. Because by that, the economy will be able to boom. Because all government they find a way, we economy will try to develop. Because today's even city they engage some of the band in the music industry like Cow Dinero, for let them come, they say them talk. In other words, they try to release. Because when they release that midnight in the morning, those other areas then will able to work out so that they say go get them small manage them will manage. So you might look at it from that aspect, say that one day they try to reach out to the people, and but the civilians they get for understand, say they still get for cope. They not will say because the thing not look like Ebola with people and they die immediately, or not because the thing not today it begin now overseas or then before sickness and come on. So because of that, they go look say well not to way now people they wanna and I think we come off far. This way and then they counter. Not from that aspect they get for look them into because they see presidential leaders and they die. Even if that president who dies in a heart problem again. But those are the people that we always liable and susceptible to them kind of sick than they. The other one back when a Congo, one of the rolling mates, he said they don't have big, he's sick. He said, I don't know if you don't wake, you don't come all this. But all those kind of things. But waiting the people then they try for look for know why they hit people and too much in a salon where it basically go afraid and look and like they see na Ebola they don't come. But the virus is there. But we don't know why. But enough for say because they don't hit people and the way when they see other place, they would neglect them. All they get for do now for cooperate back and how Dr. Donna explains so follow the standards and follow things and work for B so that they will able to know how far Usai Richard don't work now, then bring evidence, then go advise ya. The one they usai the precaution, the treatment they do now, and usai the vaccine they work now, all those kind of things, then they carry on. So the diagnostic then get out. Now the treatments they don't get a kind of a temporary treatment when they say they will just treat you for labor, we know will die at least if he survive, okay. Then they try for bringing out the vaccine. When at the last resort and at all that one they then see when I follow the stages then. So I only hope say the people then were able to cooperate and government back were able for help, outside and get for help. But the main thing, let them try look into how they were able for deal with when they talk about the law. Because when they put the law, people need for respect them. But again, when the people want for respect the law, will not get for make again the people then become engaged for no waiting they need for do. And then the one day when you go make sure say the thing it work high for day, delegate that other day, then get for know the responsibility. And when they know the responsibility, most times the message you go able for go. But if we then use force so that they go able for translate that message there to the people then then you go find out, say, now the poor civilians then go always delay there, and you go find out, say, it cause a lot of problem. Where if people, it will cause problem to the outside world. If people then go they see, and what you go call on, you go call on well on the police, what you then deal for do. And then the police then now will say, well, we serve with duty, now for go delegate, we on job. But that is not the way we get for approach them. When I get for approach them in an ethical way, when I engage the people them, when I go on what the law say, for saying so and so we for do, if not fine, okay, we levy fine. We forget where we were able for engage. If not minor fine. If not small thing, you go do. If not some side, you go sweep. Or if not this, you do. Or if not, you're not driver, will learn for give you points from you driving. So that all those kind of things, they introduce them. So that people then go get indirect, so that direct confrontation, so that the country will try become peaceful. Not to any half thing, people then go find a way for let them go able for use that avenue there for spoil the image of anything. Because you go spoil the image of NaCOVERC, then go see what NaCOVERC and they go spoil the image of the police, and then you go spoil the image of the government, and then even the civilians themselves at some point, it go spoil the image. Because then when they talk say back, oh well, then all things affect, then they can affect. But not knowing that there is always something where they cause them, wherein there is no engagement between the law enforcers them and the one they will get for take the law for let them go do and for sin as they expect we. But only hope say then go able for look into them till then day and let them know say corona is actually real, but long not ignore them because we don't know what it get for be. Because even when Ebola begin, if you look at the trace of farm, it don't be Ebola. The simple and the time for toxic, there was something like a different kind of sick, like a hemorrhage sick, then the blood they come on everything. It's similar sick of that one they be done day, but they be say that Europe if it don't come on. So then I say okay, when it moves, so all those history. Then later, yes, they go and come on Congo. So then now it go back inside West Africa, and all those areas. So you never know when you don't come begin like that. So until I go don't quiet tomorrow, then it will begin to turn. Then something else come on. So why they not go try deal with her now? So they not give space to that thing there for let you go live. Because when you get space for let you live inside water, because they try for survive. The virus they try for find a way to survive. If they find a way, get when you count this style, if they find a way for let it go survive. Now Friday they say it they mutate because if they find way for survive. So that period of survive day, I think when they go to tomorrow, it go change, it come back. Then they will say this now so it don't come now. This will not even for treat ourselves again, or the treatment will go for change them. So all those kind of things, people can get for cooperate and also it's real. Let's just try the precaution. So we cool this year down and then we carry on. Then I'm new advice no more. The law let them try know how they would even the recruit people like the police, let them try very hard. As in they do so they try very hard for letting them know whether they did it. Therefore, able for know them because they have that complaint method. Then people they therefore know their rights. So and they know that they complain and they complain. So then they try for call these people when they complain. Why they complain you? Now this and this you go do when this type of thing happen. And so you go deal with them. If we read this again, that's so we go do. Let them they get that method or people then will get area for complaint. Then get them, but let them make it become effective where people then go able for access them so easily. So that all these things then go there, then go put on a table. The Lord say then go shock you first, then go try for discipline you by telling you say that's so you get for do. So the one then now would then know say then get good behavior, then they go be the role model of the other one then. So that they for sure now they hot spots them, especially when something they happen with sensitive. But all those kind of things, it will take a time gradually. But only hope say then go try for look into them in there so that civilians them good day like a place where they go feel say them belong, where then they care for them and they are protected, and themselves then they give their own civil responsibility based on the civil rights where then they get. And when you get civil rights, now they get civil responsibility who go able for show out. But if the civil rights not there, that your responsibility the way you get for do, you will find out say how I go do them. So man go say that just tower. So the responsibility and the rights. Now then two things for equate, and then you will see a peaceful place all the time. When something happen, you go see people and they cooperate. And thank you very much for giving me a platform, and let God continue for help so that people no go get this sick, will get for day. Globally, it will stop, and we own country will be safe, and everybody will abide. And any other thing said tomorrow, sickness come, people then will know how they will able to do public health, how we will do with public health, security, for me own personal self. Why I know the sick don't come, and then I get for aware for say I no go help for let the sick go, I go help for let the sick go down. I no go help and for let go pass to other person. Or I go know what I get for do. These are all the kind of things. Thank you very much for giving me the platform, and let God continue for help me. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, whose friend.
Yeah. Most welcome, sir. Yeah.
Yes, caller ID live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
I am from US.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, the removing the curfew and the stuff, it's a good idea, but like the doctor then told you and they talk about how they will operate in a net if people then decide for open them clubs and things, what they go do towards them things then they, I mean just they talk to somebody in a salon till 5 o'clock with my time, then around 9 o'clock, light no day. Torchlight. Now I get on it and go by in bed. It's in this whole day panel. I say, well, how for do, how for manage, maybe one day things will be okay. And these social man issues, when they talk about social man and they beat people, yeah, now recently then things they begin because as far as I can remember, during Shakin terms, social man they not been in a treat, so Shakin was sending a barracks. Take the gun in the hand, where Mama have been the chief, So the man in a treat, they see themselves. Now ISU will later become, I think, SSD. Now they parade up and down. Even the ordinary policeman says they've been afraid them because I mean, our uncle in police, we've been afraid and great and they big time, So the issue about say all presidents then been they utilize the military personnel, and that's not true. If people go back to the presidential times, then history, they will see Shakimi don't send their own barracks. Take them gun at the hand. That's my submission.
Thank you very much, Ayo.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, caller ID live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Namin Charles, I call from London.
3 minutes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm Tripoli. I'm for actually, about that major incident na Lumley Beach Road?
Yes, I think we'll post on our website today about the attack or the attack.
Okay. The problem now with Salon, our museum, you find out, see, you get them before the way they get away, not the reward. And when they tell them for do certain thing, them, they refuse. Instead, they gather as a gang and try for beat the enforcement officers them, or for try for damage certain thing them, like then cars there, or then kind of them they. They tell them to make them do what they're supposed to do, but they refuse. Now make you see we then can make that gang or then try for overcome the police, and I make the military they take part. The only thing we them people and they not for do, they not for beat them. But in a sense, me na Saluna, me na black man. The only way we go your reward now we them put force on something. Because without that, it not happen, especially free tongue now. The young boys them then gather in certain areas there. They do certain things the way they're not supposed to do. So when they tell them for do now, they make problem. Now make you see that they beat them. So I know things to say other means they will then go for control there. Because first of all, the population itself, you get 70% illiteracy. Elect how you try to put such a thing for me then do. Take for instance, look the Kisi Road. Look PZ. The place packed with table them where footpath self no day. Almost then they don't try for pull and commodity. Now what you observe self, no law no the way they pass at the country. Man they do what in they feel for do. Now make you see things that they go that way they. Even the policeman they try, the army man they try. But the one that they against the system, they plenty pass the policeman and the soldier man there. Now God no more than go to tell you fact. Look, they go na people the house. You see the inside so they broke the mouth come meet you, they can't thief you. Eh? I don't know more me get for tea. Me get for talk. Thank you very
Charles,
much.
before you go,
Yeah.
since you did talk about the way and manner you feel say na pass them beats them, then they walk. I want to disagree with that. And I just want for use this one way we talk about so now as an example, yeah? They send the soldiers them for go give fine, not to for go beat person.
That's true, yes.
And there is a court, there is a system in place, and nobody not getting right for beat civilians. So if you go then say give fine for who don't know wear face mask, I like the driver say, oh, the woman in face mask for them. The best you can do. I understand then people who they get tickets will not they cost them. Where you park enough for parking, writing ticket you can you win that it don't move on. Now ticket you go for Gogi, write your ticket, hand over to that person, then you move on. Rather than, and the thing here is, yes, the person na in job they do. So is the military man. Just get the ticket and send you for. But for go to the extent for beat the person take toilet by himself, I think that was wrong. And
Yes,
nobody
on
not
that-
getting right for
yes.
beat person. There is a law.
Yes. But the thing is, that police or that soldier man there, I don't believe say Namawe erratic or Namawe crazy. There must be a situation whereby that particular thing they take place. But other than they did not talk the real thing. If they talk the real thing, you go find out say, I believe say the other person they must try for create some force or try for insult the policeman or for disgrace the policeman in front of the crowd. And that make you see the soldier man behave so.
My brother, Lord, that's left and so. Let God make you not cross them path. You gonna say insult or no insult. You na bloody civilian. That's the word. Insult or no insult. Lord, just left and so. Thank you very much, Charles.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Bye bye. Yeah.
Yes, caller, you there live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
It's not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike. You get up to 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, well, I don't think Danny was right. Where they beat that guy, they take toilets by himself. And they're completely wrong. Not fine at all. Man. Why not they treat your citizen right? If somebody violate the law, I mean, they we get court system. You know what I mean? They just they beat people and like that. Not fine at all, Salon. Why not they do things right? We expect the country for growth, but we move the country backward. And I just want to say, so Jamane, like what place dark zone? Now net there for the patrol. All then thief there, then robbery they would go into the net. Then what's that then day? Then policeman. What's that then day? Where all there they go on so. I mean, the night time there for the patrol. Even McKinney then gets to Germany with the patrol at night. Lesser crime. But I'm glad he wouldn't lift the curfew when I think the state of emergency, and lift the state of emergency. Oh, good. Because that state of emergency, they don't use for muzzle, everything, People are not able to protest in the country. People are not able to do peaceful protest, nothing, I'm glad they wouldn't lift her up because at least then they go free up some business there. If the people want to do a peaceful protest, they get the right to, And then they salon for day for, and then the democracy day for, I'm glad they wouldn't do that day because the thing that this state of emergency do, it really shut down everything, Just kudos to President Bio. That's a good thing for the country. Let business begin flow again. Let people begin do their business again. Kudos to her, man. That's my own contribution on it.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please.
This is Ezekiel at the call from Oregon.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you so much, Triple A. I gladly, really, because from even the beginning, I've been question the idea of state of emergency. I mean, you can declare curfew if you want, but state of emergency too broad. It cause a lot of problem for a lot of people. But we thank God we did not finally take them off the table. I definitely want to jump quickly on the issue of the military, the police within the beat people. That guy premise of saying, oh, people and Trangais. Obviously, we know that. But, everything, even the law of how then they arbitrate things, how waiting they send somebody in Nigeria, how long if you get for good, they are all proportional. How face covering of a driver where he take the passenger go lead to that kind of beating. So that not even makes sense. It not even makes sense. The conversation they with the man we not driver with them disgrace. It not even comparable to gangster the way then they go get her. Even then, when they don't run after them, arrest them and carry them go and take care of them. No. When nets can wait and they go and destroy people and places, they call for help. They see them people here, But ordinary people are waiting, they try for fend their living, So simple thing way for go corrector. By the way they inside uniform, not to just because you didn't inside uniform. So now if you talk to somebody, themselves not for defend themselves the right way. Because we see somebody they inside uniform now, any defense message where you they try for defend yourself, the say no more na feature or the say no more you they try for challenge them because then they get authority. Everybody get in right for defending himself. That not mean say you for go attack them and begin to beat Alex in a war front today. Huh? But all these things here, again, they happen because when the law itself will get, they know they enforce them. Now they lead to this. Now they always lead to civilians therefore take the law that they own hand. Because when the law did it only protects the one that way then get opportunity and way then get power. As a result, you go see the people and go wild. If the law they act equally for everybody, we know say no matter what you do, obviously level did it. But at least let the people and see say, at least this is flat for them. But when you begin go up for the one that way then nicer for the one that way then get opportunity, money and power, then it always there against the one that way then them poor and they know able, they don't know what side for go waiting come. Then you go see the lawlessness way they happen. Would I for blame? If the law did it, then it's not enforced. Now would I for blame? So my brother, they're not supposed for the beat people. In those days, in fact, the military been afraid for do things because they said been get MP. We then do something, MP they go for them. Then they make sure military police then they go arrest them or beat them up for that kind of behavior. Because what happened there na McKinney one time, the same thing happened. Military police wait and call for them military guy and they run. They arrest them, take care of them. But we'll not get there anymore. Military just they want to do anything way they want to do to civilians. Just like how would be say now so then they force you, then call you poor, stupid civilian. Then they get all kinds of adjective way then they call you because you not get uniform. Let God help with country. Again, they always end up with that, but at the same time they tell you say God no go ever calm down and do that because it don't put we there for law we take care of business. If we not do I just sit or they watch. Thank you so much, Triple A.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel.
Yes, sir.
Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and inside the call from, please.
Yes, Triple A. I've been Eric George at the call from Switzerland.
Yes, Eric, you got up to 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you very much for giving me the platform. As to regards this curfew order or state of emergency where they don't lift, at least now a good thing where at least people and go after the normal business, but that not forgive people then the the reason say they not get for put on the mask and still get for the put on the mask. If even when a net, at least let we abide by the rules and regulations for let we put COVID being we back. Because it really not easy. Waiting at Europe here we see how governments the change procedure for tackle this COVID. So now a good thing we at least the governments don't thought it fit for lift this emergency. Kudos to the president, and we believe saying a good thing he don't do. When a government they do well, at least we get for give them that thumbs up. So and in regards to this I'm a man who didn't say beat civilian. That's not a good thing because let's say now the civilian they be lost in life in that process. They now that you go to talk. There are so many ways in the way you go treat civilian way it go still feel you wait as officer, as police officer, as military. Find and they forgive. And then country how they policeman we you break the law then give you a fine. If na crime way they forgive you fine. If na crime way they for arrest you then they arrest you. So that beat I mean before try forget over this. Now also presently a case they go on where that may involve police violence where the person lost in life since 2016 where that thing they happen. They still a press because they want justice. And I believe say that person they must get justice, though he lost in life. They must go to the tail of that matter day. And there are certain crimes in the way they happen at salon where people and they go to jail for. Some of them things they know to crime the way if you go to jail for, like for instance, drivers them then commit crime in the street, then they end up in jail. Some of them things and then na fine you go get. We they see and then country Boku. So now me take on that. Triple.
Thank you very much, Eric.
Yeah.
Yes, call ID live on your name and who call from, please.
This now Usman Mansari, they call from Maryland.
You're up to 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, the side when you want talking about the military side, Madabio from the time where we elect, where they elect in the country, they elect as a civilian, not to soldier man, but from where it come, it took that soldier man uniform, they pass, and inside pass soldier business. People are not like, people in a Sierra Leone, they not like soldier man. Soldier man, then we use soldier man, they will get na salon, na rebel them. The same soldier man the same them back up to now.
No, we can't blanket. We can't blanket. Say soldier man then I rebel them. No, I want for make we refrain from that. No, seriously.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. But why soldier man always get this feeling? Say always and they look low upon. They know they respect civilian. All time they call a civilian bloody civilian. You know for talk to them. All the time, now the same soldier man in back to we be the beat we call it bloody civilian, and at the same back for more matter be take power. Most soldier man they don't go grip people and they beat people because this SLPP now don't turn to soldier man and government. What's kind of problem this? How you go disrespect big man, grown man? They don't do this thing. Look, the man, the minister of lands, where been there. Then they go and take people in land and then they beat people. Pass up to 3 years before you Sacramandi. Not because now waiting they don't teach people. They count soldier man them because he get all the agenda back. Say so until the next election can he go use them to your advantage. Now that's not the hidden agenda. But people are not like soldier man as alone. Soldier man then look where would have gone with Guinea border. They don't go fetch now. Then get mind.
Always waiting in Sabina for beat civilians. Thief man them. Come on and let's go and thief. They're not Sabina in a salon. Now for beat civilians, disrespect civilians in a salon. And that then they for all the time. Anytime we go, they go to Soldier Man in the pass now the country. People are not like Soldier Man. What them when NPRC been car, we've been glad for them. By the end of the time when they time they end NPRC, nobody not like Soldier Man. Now make it way the other one then call later EFI or this. Nobody just say, other than that, no. Now the same Soldier Man then, new Soldier Man they can join back. When they come back the same way then they feel back say the civilian they not for talk to them now. Go around beat civilian there. Same thing for my kind of power. In almost land and go and beat people and take people and land there. Then pass up to 3 years before you sack her. And then plan them we then get. Nobody not like Soldier Man. Me na that side nobody say that touch.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, caller, you're live on air. Your name and side call from, please.
Hello, Helen McDavis. I call from United Kingdom.
Yeah, you have to 3 minutes. Yeah.
You don't mind listening. What's your problem? Thank you very much for this program. I say hello to everybody. Tell Papa President, thank you very much. We lift up this ban. For soldier, Leone, I think saying that something we a data the system for beat and brutalize people them, molest people them, they don't even care. In fact, where I even say them beat the driver because of a kumra, where they not think about the Pekin self, maybe the Pekin they torment the woman, don't mistakenly another day according to which they say a mask for the gun. They not remember say the woman go to struggle with him Pekin, it go take time for take the mask. If they not been look for the Pekin self, therefore be looking out for the kumra and struggle. But then beat them mercilessly, where they beat them. I'm not sure say not good thing and they just like the other callers the way they talk. It's not really good. It's really shameful for us because they know they actually for brutalize and beat people. They are sure say they're not gonna give them that law. They say weapons put mask or weapons pay therefore beat them. They're not for beat them. And the lifting of this curfew, me are glad, but on the other hand, I'm afraid because I hope say they will put more police officers then or military. In fact, military not for in the streets. Therefore, put more police officers then for things business. Triple me are afraid that is because it look better small where the curfew building. But we'll not go deep and down forever because everybody need to go about in business. Even to the Okada drivers, they're back. Because of this curfew, but thing then they will be the happen where it's really dangerous for the poor passengers then. It cut off some side and they cut off because next then they where they know they drive person carry them go outside, go Arasan, take something then they hand them where not be they happen again. Me outside, I just will pray and plead to Papa government let he puts more forces them at the streets, but not to forbid people them. When you commit, then for take you. Then for the watch. And any Papa government back don't kind of Europe, you don't be there for a long time. I think say if you call it talk to them when you commit as a soldier or a police officer or any force, when they deal with you, the next person I shall say he go afraid. But if they do something, they not do nothing, they let it go no more there. The person where they do the thing to he left Panam on the officers then now the more than they get pride. Some of them they take and say, now military government will get. And they tell you, me, I don't hear you somebody will talk that would be. Because of where Mother Bio not the military man. So then they go with the idea and say, Mother Bio now still the military government the ruler, which is not true. They say would they pray God no more, God make themselves able to pass the law, strong one to them, the military, all the forces, in fact, not to just military. For let them know, say yes, they're not to we they work for them, and then they work for we. Then they for protect people, and not for damage the people them back. You see, at the end of the money, any contribution, let God make them put forces them for this stiff business.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much, Helen.
Never mind.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Mm.
Yes, caller, ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
I'm Mari, call from United States.
3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry for the driver we had bit today. But always me know lawlessness on Bokuna Salon. And Triple A, which me say generally Motomando like anybody we the police in life. We all know the sooner we see police any side or gunman or security any side, it is touch of we mentally. But let me be frank with you, we police and all again, minus the corruption for that in bribe business, or even the soldier man and say, they're not as bad as the kind way how, we imagine. Of course, when they go and peace keeping mission, we see and they award them medal. But it just can't say, the country often say, politics don't make everything don't go bad. That talk say, my bio gets with the man and then say, it will can relax the security like out to Yankababiru. At the end of the day, before then they count some back, Naboku civilians and like. So, me that side, if my bio get, I'm on tank, being and self, he's supposed to do that this. Because at the end of the day, they overthrow and walk with toxic, gross carelessness. Triple A, what me they say, I mean, if you get police and my family, neither me not to criminal. So it's not like I hate police or I back police. But in person, sometimes, in necessary. Yes, I say, along the line, we see police and they offbeat. Where them behavior can be fatal sometimes. Let alone salon. The politics don't make, young man, they don't just tend to be like rebel. Me, the only thing, and the question media asks at Triple A, when I camera today, on adjust the video with the circulation, and from there, I get the story. Because it's like, we need to forget the other side of the story. What him bring the bits in can. That may for sure not a solution. Just like where everybody they say, before allow the law for operate. But I know the easy way ignite this guy beating, Triple A.
Not at all. The same video you see, now we all see.
But it go find not really know the starting of the whole thing. Because now social media, don't make, who so belong, now from there they begin video, or maybe we edit and publish it. But that's my own contribution.
Thank you very much, Koma.
Yep.
Yes, call ID live on air. Your name and who the call from, please.
Yes, good evening. This is Nancy, the call from US.
You get 3 minutes, ma.
Thank you. Yeah, what me want touch on today is I remember my brother and a soldier, O2. I'm a soldier, but he don't die now. I remember the team will be the lead, na McKinney, na Teko Barracks. I go visit them a few times. I spend time with them a few times. In boys them where they under them. They no craze for go some side or go do something where they're not supposed to do. People, the punishments when they give them 1 a day. They be so well disciplined. One time I don't witness, not to even just ordinary cell or like Usaide with self. Then you basically na butu they butu, they even able for tin up. Now that kind of punishment say, then they send them for go brush on the sun all day. If na rain they come, you go brush on that rain day, they will come, then can punish you back again. If you go commit crime, you soldier man, you don't inside uniform. You go commit crime, we're not supposed to commit, or you go misbehave, some side. Now that are the punishments. Discipline, it not be easy. But now, what me don't observe, it's like they don't reduce this uniform to nothing. That's why people, they know they feel there anymore, because for like somebody go respect you, you get for respect yourself, you get for be disciplined. When they be disciplined, they people then they respect them. Any way them pass, then they salute them, respect them, and then they fear them. But because they don't begin to insert themselves that way, the way how they treat people then. And somebody when you begin to make a life for you go get your point, they afraid you anymore. The same thing with the police then. That's just natural for as a human being. When somebody exerts fear in you, you get a point, they reach a wall, they afraid that person they again. Because they look at her now and say, now what am I after all like me? The only difference is something you hold a gun and you wear a uniform. And the other thing where I want to talk about is kudos to the thing where they don't lift, but then people they are within the room about, so they go and beat people them. No amount of waiting self, no the crime where person will do or misbehave, cause like say now wound you. If for results to for beat somebody, say disgrace na himself. How in the sleep na net for let's see somebody disgrace like that. That person they can be your uncle, it can be you papa, it can be your brother. You go disgrace her like that. So if you don't want for what you said, maybe they each boku problems then they all over the world. Maybe the government need for send them somewhere, let them go participate. Because what they now other country, then maybe they need help. Let them send them, they let them say go flex if that's they want. Because it's like they're not happy with the peaceful again at the country. Just relax and enjoy your life. Talk to your Sierra Leone brother and sister with respect. What to make you mask for them. If you mask then are going, pick them up. Just talk to her with simple, sister, hey, pick up your mask and put them on, yeah? Now for your own protection. Talk to you people then like mortal man. But if they're wire, like how some people then they suggest back, say, okay, let we left them, let them begin go on net, let them begin protect it. We don't know who that for trust anymore. The soldier now, the police now, the civilian, the raggy boys then are street too. Because once you release the police, they call themselves, they know they show up. What if you not them back? Then they show up now, you come and go beat you up and take what belongs to you. Who knows? What if you not soldier back? He show up, he wear uniform, he beats you, then go tell you say no to soldier na imposters. So who that we they trust now? We don't even know. They really need for think and try to put some respect to themselves and bring back that respect so they can get ready. Where people then they look at them and respect them. You meet up soldier man, say okay, this is a struggle. You they even want to put something you get. But now look at them. They're all over the place and they behave the same way like the past thing where it don't happen. I know one for calling name. You know able to tell the difference between them and a man anymore. There has to be some respect, restraint. That's now one thing I believe say they're supposed to teach them when they train them. Then forget that self-restraint. No matter how somebody waiting self, then get laws. Like how you say, go give the ticket to you're supposed to give, and then go about your business. If somebody drop a mask, you not get mask, ask her, put her on. It's simple. Put her on. If you not get, okay, then find way for cover your face. Right now. For beat somebody to disgrace by himself. It's sad. Shame on them. Shame on those way they go and misbehave that way, the way they put to country in other kinds of spotlights, they all the time and they point finger at and shame on all of them. Shame on all the one they way Tina before where they release them in the streets, they make them let them go cause them kind of problem they are without discipline. Shame on all of them. They need a shame, they wire. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's just talk small on this military and the incident what happened. Yes, it's good to have two sides of the story, but outside a man be sit down they explain. If not been lie, be they lie. Yeah? And nothing say if I explain the explanation done. Okay? I don't know if anybody remember Naya when somebody make mention of the MPs, the military police. I think it was just after the war. where you get soldier man then all up and down, would not for the na tongue. The military police used for raid na freetom, becoming a freetom maybe they are sabi but. When they say military police they come, they want them wear uniform, then they run. Even if you get paper for the na tongue, yeah? Because soldier first na barracks for the. Even if you get paper for the na tongue, if you not dress neatly, if you are not dressed properly to how soldier for dress, like how them be the dress tradi, because now, forget it. If you are not properly dressed, you dey get problem with the military police them. Then they go with you. Now, one you dey see them come encounter with the military police, then you see them, they left them for go. So I think the military themselves don't relax. Or too many military officers them, they now na tongue, we not for they na tongue. Too many. Or maybe na the assignment to then give them, or I don't know. But trust me, before, now make I give you example, say even to after the war, military personnel them, not supposed for they go up and down. They not they stop you for go up and down, but you for they in your civilian clothes. If you not get nothing for do way for make you wear that uniform day. But as long as you wear the uniform, you for be properly dressed, and you for no say you get right for wear that uniform and the inside tongue with her. When was the last time I even see an MPO at this salon? I can't deny say they are not there, but for me, you don't say I don't see them. You don't see. So I think say lawlessness don't creep come inside the military. Because as for the police, law left them corner under. Lawlessness, it don't creep come inside the military. Now you see person with military uniform, he wear half back. Before, a military man, when you watching boot, you they see you face day. Before, some of us, we pass through soldier manos. Yeah? When you see a military man in boots, the kind way they shine. They know they play out and say, I doubt if they want their newly recruits and now the one they already they sabi shine boots so safe again. Then beret or then cap what they wear. Distinct style and so in the day, proper one. When last you see a military man in a salon, you say, wow. And just full of awe because you see one. Because of the way how we dressed and the way how we comport himself. When last? But how the people them lawless, now so themselves they behave in a lawless way. As long as there are laws in the country, right? Nobody no give nobody right for beat person. It is not there. You know why would they see all this? Oh, now because you're lawless, now because you know why? Now because they need a soon as alone. That's why. Now because they know the soon as alone. Trust me. Now he make, then country here, who they blame them no more. But nobody no one step out of in your boundary, waiting the law guide them with. Because when you step out of them, anything can do, the consequence is going to be on your head. But in Sierra Leone, no. Don't beat somebody, say waiting happen so. Nothing okay for come up behind in above case. Above case, nothing. Say, oh yes, the people in Trangais for beats them. Says who? Even when you go to market, police and the old cane. Police then they all cane na market. Say then they beat people where they come into the streets. Police then they all cane for drivers. That's how we don't ridicule we self na the country. Which bar will they try for set? Which standard will they try for set? Which standard? There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things. Where will they expect the law enforces them for they do? But beating people is not one of it. But true say talk me, not to now it start, not to yesterday start, not to this administration is start, not to that previous administration is start. But they will not let them make it happen, so make it just happen. We don't see Usai inside this administration. We don't see Usai. So Jaman beats police tout temps. It happened at Waterloo. It happened at Eastern Police. The police station. Even to the police, motorcar will be packed. Them broken glass all. They say because police happened to be one of the military officers them where I think not be wearing uniform, so you call them one and they can. Two say it don't happen. I end up fulfilling nothing. We see Usai, the one they wouldn't call forest guard. They meet up with policeman there. I will end up hearing it again. Nothing. And all the instances here where they give so they are all lawlessness. Now lawlessness. So what are we trying to say here? I think the bodies them were responsible need for call these people to order. They need for call them to order. The military personnel them now Uda for them na tongue na for them na tongue. Uda no get business no for them na tongue. If then give you instruction, say go enforce face mask wearing, now for give ticket, and not to them they give tickets, then they are just there for make sure say the process is smooth. Who ask you for beats? I don't know. But we get beaucoup work for do. Beaucoup work. Today to today. Today no more. Today. We still say the first lady go shape money. How many people wear face mask today? How many? That's what I thought too. We told them be big gathering the way they see. How many people the way they see wear face mask? But there is this thing that Sierra Leone say, as long as you're inside motorcar, you wear face mask. Hey, Papa God. Now we did not treat, we the waka. As long as you're inside motorcar, they define and they take place. Or you buy. You buy face mask from the one that always surround them. Where they do business. Because it's business. When they say we people are not lawless. When they say that, they are. And we have the enforcers. But they not say me go beat person. They not say go beat person. Now we then go begin sue. Get that point. Renata Manka per camera. It just arrived, Thick and small, dear, seda, danka. Yeah? We'll go catch up. Alright. We'll go there back tomorrow. Curfew another day again. They get them nice. But remember, for always mask up. Michael Coker says, Tripoli, the army don't they do this for years with impunity and then go continue. This is sad. That's good. And then they do, huh? But then do until they beat policeman there. Hey, Papa God. And beat policeman, they will carry the camera and go there and say, no, this na institution problem. So they know they talk. They're not ready for talk. And I saw he left from thing. How that one go happen back not too long ago? Yeah? But we'll be back tomorrow. Till we meet again. Tripoli say, Tata.